Good evening, everyone. It is Francesco here from the Smart Stocks newsletter. It is Thursday, the 18th of January, and I'm ready to take us through our index review for this evening. Starting off with the S&P 500. Well, today was another one of those kind of roller coaster days. We've seeing a lot of that volatility creep in yesterday and today followed through with the same kind of thing. We saw that big gap up in the morning in the markets. Things were looking great. Lots of names were up, preceded by an intraday rollover. And suddenly it looked like, oh goodness, here we go again. We're about to roll over, just like we did yesterday morning, only for everything to just be whipped right back up to close almost near the highs of days very, very powerfully. So really difficult action here for somebody that doesn't have cushion, for someone that doesn't have positions that are sitting comfortably, with lots of open profits. We've been doing no trading this week, no new positions added to our portfolio because the volatility has just made it really difficult to get positioned. Wide-ranged candles, gap ups, gap downs, and if you're not positioned for that and you don't have the cushion, then you've likely taken some stops in the last couple of days. So that's just how we've played things on the cautious perspective, and our open positions have actually been running fantastically, both of them closing at 52-week and all-time highs today. So really great action in our portfolio. So very pleased with that. Heading to the actual index review, great action here in the SPY today. So we opened up higher this morning, got that gap up, and we're able to push, closing near the high of day. So very, very nice action. If you actually have a look, we sort of closed right near the closing high here and here as well. So big level. The next step we have to clear is this pivot here, last Friday's pivot, and then narrowly above, just ever so slightly above, is the actual all-time high pivot. So we've got a beautiful cup with handle breakout here. Off we go. I don't want to make any predictions. I just want to react, but I have to say that things look like they're poised to break out. But of course, I'm not going to predict or act on that. We're just going to see what happens and wait for the reaction and act on that when the market does show its hand and exactly what it wants to do. So a really good action here. Again, we could have cracked lower today. Could have cracked lower. What did we do? Opened higher. And instead of rolling and fading intraday, we ripped up, closing near the highs of day. So bullish action. Flipping to the Qs, fantastic action here. I've been talking about this level all week. This pivot here, I've been talking about the subscribers, the power of these levels here, and then the all-time high right above here. Great action today, being able to test these levels. We faded and rolled over, rejecting them, only to push back up higher and blast through them. So really nice action. We saw the volume come in. And something else that I really talk about is, you would have seen me talk about many times since I've launched my newsletter, and that's that simple concept of you are good above the moving averages and bad below them. Intraday, it doesn't really matter what happens. If you have cushion, if your positions are working and holding well, then you are okay. Try and really focus on leaning on the moving averages and waiting for that close of day to make any decisions in your portfolio. The power of cushion is something that's not often understood by everyone, but if you have that bit of cushion, you're able to sit, you're able to withstand these little shakeouts like here and here, and keep yourself a bit more protected from taking stop out after stop out. So great action here. We got that gap up, shook, held, and now put in an all-time closing high. I'd say there's nothing more bullish than an all-time closing high on volume. I'm sure you guys can all agree with that as well. I'm not going to argue with it. Breadth is still not good. We still need breadth to pick up. The market is still thin. There are just select leaders holding up. Really a lot of sort of kind of weak and not so strong action under the hood. But leaders are acting well. So I've been referencing this divergence between the bad breadth and the leaders that are looking great. Who's going to win? Who's going to come out on top? Well, I'm riding our positions high. I'm not selling anything. We've got nothing to do there because they're working beautifully. I'm just waiting to get aggressive here. That's how I'm handling this divergence. I don't need to go all in. I got names working for us. Things are working. Earnings season is approaching. So the EP setup is about to come back into play. That was my most profitable setup of last year. So I'm super excited to get all of our members engaged and ready to execute that setup. I'm really pumped up about that. As well as a lot of these leaders are extended. So seeing no need to chase anything, get too crazy aggressive here. We're going to get our spots. They always provide setups. And we'll be watching and waiting, ready to pounce when they do. So great action here in the Qs, all-time closing highs on volumes. Look at this range. We were down here yesterday morning, and it was like, okay, this move is over. Literally, that's the sentiment. That's what I was thinking. I think that's what everyone was thinking as well. You can say whatever you like, but at the end of the day, we read price action as it comes in. You can't know that we were going to hammer it and close well yesterday and see this action today. Nobody knew. But in that moment, things are looking pretty grim, and you're thinking, oh goodness, oh, thank God I don't have new exposure or too much stuff on. Well, then you fast forward to tonight's close, you're thinking, oh, I wish I had more exposure on. Well, unfortunately, being a Monday morning quarterback doesn't work in this business. All that does is make you feel like shit and negative. So that really doesn't work. But that being said, we did close above the 10-day. We're above rising moving averages. My system is predicated and built upon the use of the moving averages. I talk about that a lot on X. It's really my go-to tool. So yes, basically, things are looking good. Let's see if breadth can come back into the market, if these leaders can keep advancing, or if not, give us some tight consolidations, setting up some nice setups. So I'm watching for that. Flipping to the Russell quickly. Great supportive action here off that 50-day moving average. We need to see this hold and bounce here to get breadth going back in the market. That's what I'm watching for. So far, the action is really good. Again, could have shaken and cracked this 50-day. We did not. We held. We bounced, closing in near the highs of day, and I believe sitting right on that 10-week moving average. So really important spot here. Would love to see us digest for a few days, set up a tight area. Maybe a trade's going to set up. I don't know. Playing it by ear. Of course, the big money, the big move is going to happen only when we recover those short-term moving averages. That 10-day, that 21-day moving average. That's what I'm watching for. But right now, loving the action. Great bounce here. We need to firm up and catch up to our peers in the Triple Q and the S&P 500 and tech. That's been looking really good. The money is flowing to big liquid mega cap leaders. That is extremely obvious. If we flip over to our FinViz group screener, we can see today's performance in this last week and this last month. It's dominated by mega caps. So that's not my opinion. That is just simple, cold, hard facts. So yes, seeing how this plays out. Last day of the week tomorrow. Let's see what happens. Hope you enjoyed my little index review tonight. If you like it, please share. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to subscribe, you can get all of my trade ideas, my watch list names. I run us through our market timing indicator and our portfolio review, which I'm about to do now for all subscribers. So thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.